to my wingman here, my Amy. All right, again, welcome to tonight's Leader Spotlight with Ann and Jeffrey Jones. And if you guys are just joining, go ahead and give us a like and let us know where you're joining from. So we see Brenda and Bonnie and a few others. Just type in where you are joining from. And let's get going. So tonight in this live stream, they're going to share how they started their Shaklee business, their business story. And they have an interesting, I don't know if interesting is the right word, but they have quite a health story that kind of combines with all of that. And I think they have one of the most inspiring stories when it comes to perseverance and kind of stick-to-itiveness. We're going to share why they chose to join YFP and what has really helped their business the most, and just some key tips that they could share with you guys. Here's a few photos that we have. I don't know if Ann and Jeffrey, you can see that.
Yes.
You can just fill that in. That is with maybe some grandchildren or something like that.
Who are these people?
Yeah. Future Shaklee business leaders, you're sponsoring young.
Yay! We were at a best friend's house. And
Les Wong.
Right on. Here you are with Les Wong. And we're going to talk about Shaklee 180 was actually a key component in Jeffrey's journey here, which we'll let him share in a moment, as you can see here.
oh, yeah.
There we go. So that is quite a difference, though. And Jeffrey will share there. So you got Cinched. So they actually started way back with Cinch in the early, what was that, 2010, I think, something like that. So
yeah.
Let's go ahead and I'll just knock out the slides for a minute and get you guys to share your amazing story. So if you could, I guess I'll just start off by saying who I am in case you're new. My name is Coach Jode. I am a Shaklee kid. I was 8 when my parents started this business, and then I created my own business, and now my main focus is in helping other folks like you to have your own business using digital marketing strategies. So I'm a tech and marketing advisor to Shaklee distributors, and I won't get into all my details. You can find my story somewhere else. But let's talk about you guys. Ann and Jeffrey, they live together on an island in Georgia. What's the island again?
St. Simon's Island.
St. Simon's Island. Yeah, that just anytime someone says they live on an island, it always sounds nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So currently, Jeffrey and Ann, Jeffrey's an associate, and Ann is working to get her directorship back. So one of the thoughts in my mind is, why don't you merge and just become a director between the two of you? But that's a strategy discussion to have separately, I suppose.
Well, Ann was a senior director. She had achieved senior director, and I had achieved director.
Okay.
And reverted back.
Right.
So that's, and I guess you'll get into that, but that's why we wanted to kind of address leadership. You know, what is a leader?
Yeah, and I'm glad you bring that up. Let's pause on that. Let's go into your backstory a little bit, and then let's get to that, because I think it's important that people hear this, because most of the time the folks that are showcased are going to be either having rapid growth, or they are, they've got the big title, they're key master, et cetera, something like that. And I think it's important for people to realize that there's leaders and business builders on many, many levels, and we all have a part to play. So let's, if we could, just take a minute about your life before Shaklee. Let's start with you, Jeffrey. You were a highly paid consultant in the corporate world for 13 years or something like that. You're making some serious bank.
I had a dream job. I had worked very hard to get. I was traveling around the country and around the world before that. I had helped to build computer systems for Fortune 500 companies. So, everything from computer programming to implementation, installation, training, support, you name it, soup to nuts. So I know what a good system looks like. I know what it should do. I know the components that should be there. And so I feel very comfortable with, I've forgotten far more than I probably ever even learned, but it's given me a comfort level with computers that I can help bring to this business.
Right. And then let's move to you, Anne. Your daughter introduced you to Shaklee, and it was actually the business opportunity that first introduced you. But maybe let's take a moment and just step back first. How you guys met? So you were both share the story.
Yeah, we both were diagnosed with myalgic encephalomyelitis, or just ME for short. And each of us independently didn't know each other. We went to a clinic in North Carolina to volunteer as guinea pigs for a clinical trial for a drug that they were testing for FDA approval. And that's where we met. We met in a group, kind of an infusion room. You know, if you've ever been to one, you know what that's like. And
not a fun place.
No, but we were very, very sick, each of us.
In layman's terms, by the way, that ME stands for is chronic fatigue, right?
Well, chronic fatigue syndrome. There's a difference between chronic fatigue and chronic fatigue syndrome. A huge, huge difference. A lot of people have chronic fatigue. You know, if you've ever been a parent, you probably have been chronically fatigued. Right. But the syndrome has a specific diagnostic criteria, and you have to go and see lots of doctors. You have to exclude a lot of things before you can ever reach that diagnosis. And you don't want to reach that diagnosis, right? Because there's no cure for it. There's nothing you can really, there's not even an FDA approved drug you can take for it. So.
Well, one of the things, Jody, is that, like Jeff said, myalgic encephalomyelitis, if you pull that apart, it actually means pain. It means that your nervous system is involved, your brain, possibly your spine, and then a lot of inflammation all over your body. So, and it's a very sudden onset thing. I think that I just quickly tell Jeff's story. And he was overseas doing one of his computer projects. And, you know, cut to the chase, he said he was in an office and he was helping these people and everything. And he'd taken all of his work to go back to the hotel and get everything ready to go back to present to them the next day, and he couldn't get up. So that's kind of a distinguishing symptom, or a part of the diagnostic tool that people use is lots of times you'll be telling a doctor, well, I was doing just fine, you know, and all of a sudden I just hit this wall and I literally couldn't get up. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't think. I couldn't do anything.
Like no energy, just.
Oh, but more than that, it's a multi-systemic thing, and we don't want to go into too much about. People can look it up. But if you laid on your bed and a cement truck came and poured cement down your gullet, okay, that's what it feels like. I mean, you cannot move. You literally, you can't think. You're in pain. It's very debilitating. For millions of people, so
all over the world.
So we're very blessed, very fortunate to be here.
Yeah, we're still we're blessed to be here. We're blessed to be anywhere, but we're especially blessed to be you.
Well, and I think it's important. I mean, this obviously isn't a wellness webinar, so this isn't the core of our discussion, but I think it's nice for people to understand the backstory, because that leads into kind of how YFP fits into your world.
Exactly.
And how Shaklee not only has helped you with that, but also how YFP has been an integral part of allowing you to build Shaklee in a new way versus the old physical way that you really just could not have done, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's something important for people watching to know, is that you're going to meet other people out there that have some sort of an issue. Like one of our downlines, her husband was suffering with Parkinson's. She couldn't leave the house. She really needed to use the internet to build. It was her only hope. And YFP allowed her to grow that way. So let's talk about, if we could, Anne, your story. Your daughter was introduced to Shaklee, and then you got excited about the business opportunity. Let's just backtrack a bit to that. Share with the folks watching, what was it that you saw on Shaklee? Because it wasn't the health part, was it? It was the dream of the.
Yes, absolutely. And I will just a little further back. I was a director of nursing at a psychiatric hospital, and
That's where we really met.
only kidding. Okay, and I told you not to say that. Anyway, and so I had somewhat the same experience that Jeff had, and that was that I was going to work, I was doing everything, blah, 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 and one day I hit the wall, and that was it. It was over. I mean, I couldn't read, I couldn't write, I had transient blindness, I had all kinds of things that just hit me. I was like, one day, it was over. So I'm trying to, find out what's wrong, etc. And, of course, a lot of people are telling me what to do and where I should go and et cetera, et cetera. And so my daughter called me up and said, Mom, I saw this friend, believe it or not, at a funeral. And on the side of her van, she had this big decal. And it was about Shackley.
Or decal.
Or decal, as we would say. Yeah. Anyway, and she said she's really doing good and everything, and I think that we should do this, etc. And I was just well, I guess you would say really frightened about what was my future going to be like. I was bedridden for 2 years, and I couldn't do any kind of work. And so I was like, okay, I'll do it, and I'd heard of, I liked the multi-level marketing process. I came from a family of entrepreneurs. Don't ask me why I went into nursing. Anyway, but I understood the loyalty in being an entrepreneur and buying from yourself and all those good things that you need to know when you're in multi-level marketing. Mm-hmm. So I just was like, okay, I'll do it. I was like so excited that I had something to hang on to, and that I had some hope, and I had a dream. Now, I didn't really know what the dream was. At first, they started showing me things like houses and cars and, and all that kind of thing. But I was trying to live from hour to hour and minute to minute. And so I just had a dream of being better off than I was.
Right. Hope of a better future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good. And then how did it lead into Jeffrey? Because I think basically Cinch came along, which is the precursor to 180, and you started getting results from there. And is that kind of where the product, your product belief really skyrocketed?
Well, I've always been a big believer in network marketing, multi-level marketing. And so I wanted to enthusiastically support Ann. I wasn't looking myself for a business opportunity in the beginning. But I wanted to enthusiastically support her. I've always been a student of nutrition, and I thought, well, this is a perfect fit. I'm going to try some of these nutritional products. And so that's how I started, just by trying the products. And one day I got to the point where I need to lose weight. We live a sedentary lifestyle, so it's easy to get deconditioned. Right. And easy to put weight on. I thought, well, let me try this Shackley weight management program, and the rest, as they say, is history. It was so successful and it was so easy. I was able to do it without joining a gym or, running or any. I didn't exercise at all. Don't you do that?
And how much did you lose?
Sorry?
How much did you lose?
I lost 60 pounds in 9 months, and I went off 4 medications. I was on a CPAP machine. I stopped using that. It was about health. It was about feeling better. It wasn't about looking better. It was, because nobody saw me. I was at home most of the time. It's, who am I doing this for? I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for my health.
Right.
And it made such a difference. And what got me more interested in the business side of it for myself was people started asking me when I did get out to the supermarket or whatever, they go, wow, you look great. What did you do? And they were asking me what I did. And so just in starting to tell people about it, it clicked. I was like, wow, this is a no-brainer. So that's kind of when I started with the business, and we decided to put our heads together because between us, we have almost a full brain.
Yeah.
So,
I'll do a quick plug here of the Leaner for Life program that's about to start, because you guys also shared your desire to be a part of it in some capacity, even just as cheerleaders or whatnot, because you've been through it. But that starts actually Monday at 8:30, 30-minute Zoom calls. So I wanted to make sure people know about it. So here's somebody who's used a program not even completely and had great results. So,
exactly. Yes.
I think that's pretty awesome. So share with everyone, how did you then find us? So now you're having some results with Shaklee, right? So you're losing weight, you're actually finding customers, and then what made you even decide to look at us? How did you find us? Share that story.
Well, being ill most of the day, every day, we really tried to get out there and do the business in the physical world like we're taught to do, the traditional way. Get out there and whatever your numbers are, meet 10 people a day, or every day. It's the consistency. It's getting out there and meeting and knowing that if you meet 100, maybe 10 will be interested, maybe 2, 3, 4 will sign up. Whatever the numbers are, we couldn't get out of the house to do that. We couldn't maintain that. We did get out once in a while. We were able to put together, a thing or two, but we could not maintain it because of the symptoms of the illness.
Yeah, after we would do something like a fair. One of the pictures I think you showed, it was we had put all this work into it, etc. And we went and we did the fair and we came home, and it was almost 2 weeks before we could take the stuff out of the car.
Right.
And so we came in and just crashed, and that was it.
So we couldn't even follow up with the leads that we had gotten. Now that was our lead generation in the physical world.
Right.
So we need to find a new way to generate leads, a way that wasn't going to exhaust us, something we could do, and something that if we got too sick to keep doing it for a couple of months and just literally did nothing for a couple of months, we'd still get a check. We'd still have that recurring revenue model. So we really needed to find a way to work at home.
Yeah, and so I was just I was on Facebook one day and I saw this little blurb come back, and it goes like, we help Shaklee people build online businesses. Well, here's the online man, and I love Shaklee, and he does too, and we've had some success with it. And so I said, we've got to call them. And I have to share with you, Jody, because I think this is very important. There may be somebody out there that is in the same place. I don't know, but I was in this place that I thought that if I wasn't healthy enough to be going around, running around, setting up booths, doing this, doing that, etc., that I couldn't share the business, and I couldn't talk to people about the business and about these great products. And so actually there was a coach that was working for you all that took my call and our call, and he told me all the great things that YFP had to offer, and I was so excited, and I thought, okay, I'm going to ask him the big question. And I said, do you all ever work with people that are ill, that can't go outside of the home? And I mean, I don't know which one of us, I'm not sure whether it was him or me that almost started crying, because he realized that I hadn't known that Shaklee was for helping everybody, you know. And so when we joined right then, YFP, it was like the answer, and it still remains that way. As you hear our story, I'm sure that anybody can see, but it's for anybody. And I feel that our success, whatever that might be, is about finding other people that are.
It's not about finding the right person.
Yeah.
It's about becoming the right person.
Yeah. And so through using the products, through attending YFP's webinar, I mean, YFP has it completely covered. I have learned everything now that I know about Shaklee products.
Yeah, you guys have, just so everyone who's listening, you guys have taken every single course. I believe we've had multiple times. I think 3 times, and before the university came along, you were one of the reasons we adjusted our pricing model. So because there were folks like you who had already taken every course when we put on Networkers University, so we had to find a way to give you guys a better price.
Well, we didn't want to tell you it's because our memories are so bad that we have to
take it over and over.
I mean, part of that is true, but no, it's just that we also believe that you have to keep moving forward. You have to keep learning, that every time that you hear something, you need to hear it again. And I had never experienced the type of system that YFP had in place. I think for me, a really, really important component also then became the health and the guidance that I have gotten through some of the people that I've met in YFP, your mom, and Dr. Browse, and some other people. I now have a level of health that I can stand up and say this, but every single bit of what we know and what we have today is from YFP.
Wow. And some people may ask this question, well, you've been with us 6 years, you're not coordinator, key coordinator or something, so why would you want to keep using YFP?
Well, again, we would have probably not done anything with the business if we had stayed in the physical world, because we can't. But we tend to create more of what we focus on in life. So we're focusing on building wellness instead of treating disease. For us, that's optimal health. And what's optimal health for you might look different than what's optimal health for us. But that's what we're sharing with people. So our struggle has been to focus on the health first and be able to share the business. So that's our challenge. And it doesn't matter. You know, you've heard the expression, if you can fly, fly. If you can't fly, run. If you can't walk, if you can't walk, crawl. And if you can't crawl, just keep moving forward. And that's what we do. We just keep moving forward. You never quit.
Let's lead into this discussion, Jeffrey, if we could, which is your concern with even doing this tonight was that you're not, business leaders because you're not directors at the moment, yet you've both been director. Do you qualify to even be on this leader stream? And I want to make sure. And if there's anybody out there, by the way, who's just go ahead and type in here. I'm watching on the chat on the side that if you're getting some sort of eureka moments or some points or some connecting thoughts with what they're sharing, just go ahead and type yes or loving this. Ellen is saying so inspiring. This is what Shaklee is all about. Thank you, Ellen. Give us some hearts, give them some likes if you could. And what I'd like to lead this to is. With regards to that thought is that you can't, you can't be here because you're not super successful, whatever that might mean. But for you guys, just having any sort of business is actually quite a win with your health situation.
Exactly. If you look where we came from, and in fact, just today, we both slept all day. All day. Okay.
Right.
I don't usually say that because that's not the point of coming out here, but
Right.
we have to manage our energy, our effort, how we expend our energy very carefully. So today, knowing we were going to do this, we did nothing else. We planned for this. So leadership, depending on how you define it, it's not, for us, it's not a position or a title. It's not even organizational volume, although that
Would be nice.
That determines
Right.
your bonus recap.
Right.
But it's more of an action and an example. And we believe solidly that if we just keep moving forward, just keep chugging along, as slow as we're going, eventually it will pay off.
And I think what matters is if you sponsored somebody that was eager, they can get leadership from you to surpass you far and beyond. And that's the key.
Absolutely.
Bring us your healthy people.
Right. Well, and I think that's what leadership is all about. It's getting underneath people. It's not necessarily being miles ahead of everyone and being the superstar. It's being able to help others grow and, do famous, amazing things. So,
absolutely. Interestingly enough, I was talking with Debbie Miller the other day, and we were chatting, and I was talking about building health from a cellular level, and I think that has been so important. But what I see, okay, so to me, that is structural, cellular is your structure of your body. But what I see is that YFP is our structure. It is our structure of building our, like you said, we literally, honestly, Jody, there is nothing else we can do. I tried one time to go answer the telephone for a doctor and get up, try to go be at his office and answer the phone and take messages, and I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I want to slip one quick thing in here, and that is that I have been sick now, or had this situation for over 30 years, and I have been seeing one doctor that really saved my life. And she told me that after 5 years, that there would be no probably reversal. And she also told me that there was a possibility that I might not make it. So I had other things that happened, like I got encephalitis and meningitis. But anyway, 2 years ago, she told me that my numbers across the board, all my labs, everything, and she is also a really renowned cardiologist, that my heart, which had been very weak, is absolutely perfection. She said, I have people that come to see me every day that would love to have this.
wow.
She said, that doesn't mean that you don't still have your situation,
Mm-hmm.
But she also told me something very interesting. She said, I've been treating people for many years, and I have found out that the people who have been taking Shaklee are my healthiest patients. I may be seeing them for a cardiac arrhythmia or a cardiac defect that they were born with or something like that. But she said, and I was like, so when I talk about building my health from a cellular level, I can't, in no way can I separate that from YFP, because YFP builds my health too. It builds my strength, my belief, my hope,
And you're part
my
of a
happy-
community,
and my happiness.
And let me say this.
part of something.
Exactly. And let me say this, integrity is key when you partner with somebody in business. And that was one of the first things we felt and learned is, Virtual Wonders, YFP is an organization of integrity. And you truly are there to help people. You bring in the best people. And you have built a system that I recognize right away. Oh, this is perfect. This is exactly what every Shaklee distributor should have access to. And it's what we need to build online. So I thank you for doing this. We wouldn't be here without it.
Well, thanks to you guys. I mean, it's your support and everyone's support that enables us to be able to do this and give back. I love it. And I'm just going to lead into the health factor. Just want everyone to know that in February, it's Heart Health Month. And our upcoming wellness webinar is going to be with Dr. Daggy at the end of the month. He's got a very powerful story about how heart health has impacted his life and even influenced what he decided to study, in nutrition and things like that. So do join us for that. And let's just wrap it up here, guys. Could you just share a couple quick tips of maybe what you'd suggest others, how they could utilize YFP to help build their business, or something that you'd say that they should focus on? I mean, because you guys use every tool we've got. You're on VA Service 365. So, we work hand in hand with you in helping you grow your business. What would be maybe one or two big takeaways that you could give to someone to say, definitely focus on this, or, do not overlook this, something like that?
Well, the first thing is to know your why. Why are you doing this? Because that's going to get you up in the morning or the evening in our case, but it's going to get you going. It's going to pull you up when you're down, when things don't work. When goals don't manifest when your expectations don't happen on schedule.
Right.
So it's knowing your why, and it's never quitting. And what I've learned is that if it's okay to quit. If you quit, start again the next day. And in that way, never quit.
Yeah,
So,
right.
so it really is, it starts with the person. No external system is going to come rescue you. It works because you make it work. And but it just enables us to reach so many more people. In 2009, I think I was just getting onto social media. With chronic illness, our circle of influence gets about that big.
Right.
Friends, neighbors, people drop out of your life. That's what happens. And so getting onto social media for us was a way to start increasing, our circle and meeting new people. And we've even met a few in real life, in person. I hope to meet many more. But increasing that circle and then utilizing YFP as the vehicle to go out and meet people. To go out, and we don't have to meet them. We don't have to do anything except promote our website.
Right.
And
you guys have also guided people through the pipeline, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes, we have. And again, it's more of a teaching experience than a selling experience. Selling requires skills, and requires a little memory. But teaching and where the presentations are created for us and laid out for us, and all we have to do is guide people through. We become online guides.
Right.
And the flexibility and the scalability of that, we can, there's no limit, truly no limit to the size of the business we can build using this vehicle. And
Right.
I see that.
we should have also shown, I forgot, that you guys also went out and bought your own decal. On the back of the window, we should show that, because it's one of my favorites of all the ones that are done for the Freedom Effect that you did. So,
yes, yeah, we put it on the car, so when we do get out and take a little car trip, we're advertising every time we go out. So
that's right.
That's cool.
And I forgot, because did we send you both YFP T-shirts?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you want us to wear them? Sorry.
I should have said we should have all been wearing our YFPTs, but
yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyways, you guys, you may not have the rank in Shaklee, but within the YFP community, you are definitely leaders of the community. You're one of our longest members, and we just so appreciate you for that. And that's why I felt you guys deserve to be showcased, and you've got the stick-to-itiveness, the perseverance. A lot of people would have quit, I think, a lot sooner than you ever have, and you keep hanging in there. And I think that, to me, is more important than anything else. It's just you just keep moving forward. So I want to wrap it up and let everyone just give you guys a big thank you and an appreciation. If you are watching this as a replay, just type in replay and I loved it, or whatever you thought about it. Your big kind of what you like best. And we will let you go, and we will see you guys on the next event or in the Facebook group. So thanks again, Ann and Jeffrey. You guys are an inspiration. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and knock the live stream. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.